Good morning. Glad you're here. As always, I want to start off by thanking God for another day and for the opportunity to spend some time with all of you. This morning, kind of where we're going is that we were all created for God's pleasure. When you were born, when I was born, we all had one common witness at our birth, and it was God. He was smiling, and in our arrival, it gave him great pleasure. Bringing enjoyment to God and living for his pleasure, that is our first purpose. Revelation 4:11 says, "O Lord, you created everything, and it is for your pleasure that they exist and were created." We were created to bring pleasure to God, and bringing pleasure to God, that's called worship. Anything that you do that brings him pleasure is an act of worship. Like a diamond, it's multifaceted, and it's a lifestyle. For many of us, though, we hear worship and we think music, and some of us even think a certain kind of music, but it is way more than that. It's not what we do with our lips; it's what we do with our life. Everything that you do can be transformed into an act of worship when you do it for the praise, the glory, and the pleasure of God. 1 Corinthians 10:31 says, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God." So how do we do that? By doing everything as if we were doing it for him. One of my favorite Bible verses is Colossians 3:23. And it says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord and not for men." That's the secret to a life of worship. Do everything as if you were doing it for Jesus. If we look in the Message paraphrase, it says it like this: "Take your everyday, ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering." So you can't sit on the fence and worship. You have to get in the saddle, and you have to offer yourself to live for God's pleasure. So our one thing to chew on today is that real worship is falling in love with Jesus and living every part of your life for God's pleasure. So that's my thought for today. Be sure to let me know yours in the comments, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.